Got another one for you. This one's a rant. We got a situation where we have a sprinkler head that's just, it's a dry sprinkler head sitting out. And I see this multiple times. They're dry sprinklers that are protecting a balcony. So they put these sprinkler heads out there on these balconies, and they're great for protecting your balconies. But when you don't have an awning over the top of, a roof or whatever, over the top of that deck, and you put a sprinkler head out there, what the hell are you thinking? I mean, why would anybody put a sprinkler head over a deck that has no roof and there's nothing to collect heat? The fire would basically the heat from the fire would just go straight up into the air. It wouldn't really do anything until the fire, crawled up the wall and got close to that fire sprinklers. Then, by that time it's probably too late. Anyways, I was just wondering if jurisdictions ever think about this stuff. Apparently the fire department or the inspector who inspected the building signed off on it. Why would you sign off on something like that? I don't understand. Maybe they're NFPA or somebody out there or engineer, or FP engineers might be able to tell me something or comment in the space. It doesn't make sense to me why you would put a dry sprinkler head out on a deck with no roof. There's nothing. There's no heat collection. No nothing. I don't get it. So. I've heard of guys putting these in or arguing with the inspector saying, hey, do we really need to put these out there? There's no reason to put them out there because there's no way for the heat to collect. And the inspector's usually the response is, it's on your plan, so you need to put them in. Well, that's stupid. Why wouldn't somebody ever say something like that? It's on your plans, so you need to put it in. That doesn't make any sense if you're using logic.
You got to be shitting me. Wow.
I mean, I guess for the designers, if that's something that you can make sure when you design stuff that you notate or find out if they're going to have roofs. I guess this would particularly be mostly the decks that are on the upper level of a building. Sometimes they may put the roof on it, sometimes they don't put a roof over them just because they're at the highest point of the building. Just depends on the style of the building. Anyways, it would be a good one for designers just to double check and say, hey, are these balconies gonna have roofs over them? If they're not, then we don't need to put sprinkler heads in there. I'm not positive about the NFPA code about balconies. I don't know if it's a gray area. Maybe somebody from NFPA can take a note, comment, whatever. But it seems like it would be that you wouldn't need to put something out there, especially if the sprinkler head's not going to be able to collect any heat to trigger. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. But
like I said, I'm not an expert.
Yeah. So this one's for the inspectors out there that inspect sprinkler systems. This one's for the designers out there that design these sprinkler systems, and this is for the installers that put them in, and they're just putting them in because that's what the print says. I mean, I guess if you want to put them out there, then put them out there. And also, I saw one just the other day, and it was in an area where their summers are super hot, and you got sprinkler head sitting out there, and the temperature that day was like 106. I can't even imagine how hot that sprinkler head was getting in the sunlight, exposed to the sun. I mean, I'm surprised it hasn't even popped. But, sorry. Anyways, that 106, I think it was that day, is not a normal temperature. But it does sometimes get close to those temperatures every year in summer. But I mean, it just happened to be a hot day. I just can't even imagine, that's I think a 200-degree head that was out there. That's probably can pop. I mean, when I was out there working and I saw that, and even the metal, any metal I touched out there, it was hot. So I can't even imagine what that sprinkler head temperature was. And I'm very surprised it hasn't popped. So anyways, that's my rant. And just something to think about for designers and installers and HJs. Why does that have? Why is that something we need to look into? Me, if it was my job, first thing I'm gonna do is, hey, do we need to put these in? It's not gonna work. If the inspector says it's on the print, well, I just would say, okay, well, here's the situation that could possibly happen if I do put these in. Or why can't we just say, can we get these approved by, if we can get an approval through an FPE to omit the sprinklers, let's do it that way, and then we can do an as-built, simple stuff like that. Just things to think about when you're putting in the sprinkler. I'm going to show you guys a picture of the sprinkler head that I took that I'm referring to, and just keep in mind that it was 106 degrees out that day, and I know that everything I touched without a glove was very hot to the touch. Couldn't even hold it. Anything, even plastic in my hand was hot. So anyhow, that's my rant for the day. Hope you guys liked the content. Hope it was interesting. So we'll see you on the next one. Appreciate you guys. Comment and subscribe. Peace out. Later.